Now let's continue with this crusade against these disgusting dogs and their disgusting owners. I've noticed that a lot of mutt lovers like to project themselves as morally superior, as if they have the moral high ground over people who do not like dogs, who refuse to allow dogs to live in their home, who refuse to own dogs, who don't even want to be in the same room with a stupid, ugly mutt. A long time ago, a friend and former co-worker of mine invited me into his home. Now, I knew beforehand that he owned dogs, so I asked if he could put them away before I come in because I do not like dogs. He agreed. So I went inside of his home and we sat there for a couple minutes talking about some work-related issues. He then goes upstairs, and the next thing I know, both of his stupid, hyperactive, disgusting mutts come running downstairs. So he told me that he would put the dogs away, and he did before I came in. And once he trapped me inside of his home, he let them back out. No doubt because he wanted to see my reaction to seeing his ugly ass mutts. He wanted to force me to interact with these worthless creatures. Right? One of those dogs walked right up to me as I was sitting on the sofa. I didn't even look into that ugly mutt's face. He called the dog over and took them back upstairs. I know he let them out on purpose. As I've said before, dogs are a part of these dog lovers' psyche. They view dogs as a part of them, as their own child would be. And when you don't want to be around their stupid mutts, they take it the same way as a person saying they don't want to be around your children. So a little while later, he expressed his disappointment of me for not petting and rubbing on his disgusting, ugly, worthless mutts. Yeah, this was one of the weirdest moments in my life. I was discovering the mentality of dog lovers hands-on, really for the first time. I started to realize how serious this obsession with dogs actually is. Rubbing on animals, dogs at that, does nothing for me. When I look at an ugly ass, slobbering, goofy looking mutt, the last thing I feel is a desire to rub on it. And I truly do not understand how people find pleasure in petting and rubbing on such a stinking, ugly, disgusting animal. I am a heterosexual male human, and the only other being I would be willing to rub on is human females. This person also actually questioned why I would even come into his home if I didn't like dogs. That fast. He forgot that he was the one who invited me into his home and forgot that I asked him to put the dogs away. I informed him that I don't like dogs, but after he saw that once I was in his dog's presence, I refused to interact with them, he still took offense. This is the dog lover mentality. These people are not normal. They are very disturbed in their minds. And shortly after this incident, I decided to make videos about how much I hate dogs and dog lovers. That is really what sparked my decision to make videos and start this crusade. Now, I don't have a problem with this particular person at all. When we speak, we're always respectful. But he understands now that I'll never come into his home again. And I think he better accepts that there are people who are simply different, and simply have differences and are intolerant to certain things that he is tolerant of. Right? I did not like dogs before that incident, and my hatred for dogs and the behavior of dog lovers after that incident increased exponentially. In my opinion, there is nothing wrong with admiring animals. I enjoy, as I've said before, watching lions hunt. However, I believe that it should stop there. Admire animals from afar on television in their own habitat, natural habitat. So when you want those animals to live inside your home, you're going too far. At that point, you are displaying some type of mental issue. When you also want to be affectionate physically with those animals, when you want to pet and rub on them, allow them to lick on you in your face, you're going way too far. And nature fully supports that belief, because animals biologically are designed by nature to live outside. And nature designed animals such that they will affect or infect humans with certain diseases, some of which are deadly. Right? I've explained how my grandfather owned a dog and nobody was allowed to let that mutt inside the home. Well, I remember one time one of my cousins let it inside the home, and he was punished for doing so. And my grandfather mopped the floor after the dog was taken outside. The entire floor that mutt walked on, he mopped it with bleach. So from an early age, it was instilled into me that dogs are disgusting animals that belong outside, not inside your home. So when I grew up and I started seeing people who kept dogs inside their home, I thought it was a disgusting lifestyle. I did not understand it. I thought all people dealt with dogs the same way my grandfather did, because this was at a very, very young age. And after I started doing research and studying dogs' behavior and lifestyle, all of the information that I gathered reinforced my beliefs and reinforced how I was raised. My cousin who allowed the dog into the home was also forced to wash his hands because he was outside petting and rubbing on the dog. And lo and behold, I grow up and learn that you can actually contract parasites, staph infection, right, and other diseases from simply rubbing on dogs. On top of the fact that dogs stay saturated with piss and shit because they roll around in it. And once I discovered that dogs actually eat their own shit and drink their own piss, I was dumbfounded by people who actually allowed these animals to lick on them. So when I see these mutt lovers projecting themselves as normal, as morally superior, it is an outright insult to reality itself. Nothing feels more liberating than to confidently tell dog lovers that I do not want to come inside their home, that I do not want to see their ugly ass mutt, that mutts are in fact the ugliest, dumbest looking, most disgusting animals on earth. I tell them to their face without a care in the world about what they think about it, because they can't deny it. They know firsthand how disgusting that animal is. And you have to let them know to their face that you are not going to tolerate it. For years, many of us have been pressured into being respectful to these people's disgusting lifestyle, right? In their inconsiderate behavior of allowing their stupid mutt to invade their friends' personal space, bumping all up against them, right? Sniffing all over them, nibbling on them, and so forth. We've all simply stood there and silently endured their disgusting ass mutt. Those days are over. Never allow these deranged mutt lovers to make you feel abnormal for not wanting to be around their hyperactive, goofy ass, stinking, slobbering ass, worthless mutt. Even better advice: do not even become close friends with dog lovers at all. And definitely do not date them. Do not put yourself at such a high risk of these people contaminating you with their dog's germs, parasites, diseases, dog shit, and dog piss. We are the normal people in society, and we need to assume that position with authority. Do not hesitate to tell these people exactly why you want nothing to do with them. Do not hold back. Tell them exactly how disgusting dogs are and how disgusting their own lifestyle is for allowing them to live in their home and having the physical relation with such a repulsive animal that they have. Stand up for human decency with confidence. You have the truth behind you. This is an issue of pushing for the evolution of the human species. And keep in mind always that the elimination of dogs from our society will create an evolution of your own environment, the quality of our water, our overall safety, and the overall mental health of the average human. Because then these deranged mutt lovers will have to treat their social disorders by interacting with other humans, just as they are designed to do.